Most athletes base their entire existence on their sport. It becomes who they are and can be their main source of identity. When athletes are injured and taken off of the field, it negatively impacts their mental health. How should we handle injuries that affect the mental health of athletes? This is me. I have been cheerleading since I was 9 years old and I am now 22. My position is a tumble boy, so I'm clearly using my feet all the time. Earlier this season at a basketball game, I was doing an easy basic skill during a timeout and my foot snapped. I immediately knew that I broke it. I have never been injured before, or at least to this extent. As an athlete, you were taught to push through pain, but this was different. I was on crutches for 2 months. It took my sport away from me, and it also made everyday tasks difficult. This process taught me that support systems are necessary for injured athletes. From the article, Social Support and Post-Injury Depressive and Anxiety Symptoms Among College Student Athletes from the National Library of Medicine, the research demonstrates while there is a strong support from support systems from baseline of injury to 1 week post-injury, the support rapidly tends to fade away throughout the process. When athletes are taken out by an injury, their identity disappears. Imagine losing your sport, yourself, and your support system after a short period of time. Depression and poor mental health begin to take over these athletes. The research study proves that having support systems helps athletes navigate through their emotions. Moving on, the comparative mental health responses between post musculoskeletal injury and post concussive injury among collegiate athletes from the National Library of Medicine explains how injuries have a direct correlation to poor mental health. It explains that injuries prolong the issues of mental health, making these duration periods longer than somebody who is not an athlete. Take note on how important these sports are for athletes. This research shows that a good chunk of them jump back into their sport before they are fully healed. And honestly, I'm personally guilty of that. This can cause re injury and also prolong the time of poor mental health moments. Injured athletes need to have support systems in order to prevent this from happening. Not only will they get help with their emotions, but also it can prevent them from prolonging their injury in the near future. Also, from the National Library of Medicine, a longitudinal pilot study of depressive symptoms in concussed and injured NCAA Division I student athletes. The research demonstrates how athletic trainers and coaches could be better equipped to handle mental health situations. This includes their own personal mental health training, having ready referrals to psychologists, and much more. Though some mental health problems regarding injury cannot be easily turned around, there are ways for athletic staff to alleviate this tension and anxiety about not playing. To be completely honest, I had none of that from our university. Looking back, I could have taken the initiative myself to get help. However, having a protocol for injured athletes in the future is the next step to improving the mental health response to injuries. Mental health in regards to athletic injuries needs to be talked about more often. This happens to numerous athletes every single year, and there is no true protocol from staff to check up on their injured alternates. Most teams simply replace the spot and move on with their program, making us feel worthless and unusable. It is important for schools, programs, and clubs to support their injured athletes, and the best way to do that is by educating the support systems around us. Communication about mental health might be one of the most important things we have been pushing for in our current society. Instead of viewing it as something that is unfixable and unpreventable, we should perceive negative mental health in a different light because it can improve over time. Though we often hide our mental health issues in secrecy, it is about time for our world to feel comfortable having open conversations with those around us. Instead, communicating with athletes throughout their whole recovery can truly take away some of that distress and depression. To sum it all up, regardless of what I went through this year, this is me a couple days ago after competing at the NCAA Collegiate National Championship. Everything happens for a reason, but in the long run, mental health needs to be talked about amongst athletes.